Have you ever had the feeling that you are meant for more, where you just catch something that's happened, or you'll have a conversation, or something will happen with a client, or you look at your week, you look at your business, you look at your bank account, and you just get this overwhelming sense that you are meant for so much more beyond the circumstance that you are currently experiencing. Now, we are nearing the end of the financial year in Australia, and I think for a lot of us, especially if we've been looking at how we've been tracking and performing the last 12 months, there is a chance that for some of you, this has been coming up. And there is a chance that even if you are really happy with the growth, if you're happy with the direction that you are heading, that you are still experiencing this. So if this is just feeling like this is something that's coming up for you at the moment, you are going to love today's episode. Now, what I will say, I am wondering if it would be worthwhile for me to put something together, a hot little 2-week, let's call it exploration into future you and crafting a plan on what that looks like. Because at the end of the day, if you are feeling like that you are meant for more, and you don't have a plan to get there because potentially you're not really sure what it looks like, or you're unsure about the practical aspect of getting there, there's nothing worse than kind of staying in that energy. Because you know what? Who wants to be here next year? Who wants to be in exactly the same spot? You're too hot for that. Your business is too amazing. Your vision is far too powerful. So if this is something you want, slide into my DMs on Instagram. I am serious, and let me know, and I will create this offer for you. I'm thinking live, I'm thinking short little bursts of homework. And if you are listening from the future, oh, hello, I love that you've come back and you are listening to some past episodes. There is a chance that this has been already created. So go and check out all of my shit. So how do we know that if we are experiencing this, meant for more? And maybe that isn't a thought that you're kind of thinking, but maybe you are feeling stagnation or stuck, or you are in this continual plateau and you are wondering why, or maybe you feel angry or resentful, or you are doom scrolling, okay? Where you kind of feel like you're in this freeze state and you're really unsure why, and you're feeling even a bit like let down from your business or let down from your life. I think this happens when we are not really feeling that fulfilled with our current life. And when we just know that there is something else, there's something bigger that we should be doing. And we kind of feel like in a way that we're going through the motions. We have potential that it's like we just haven't accessed yet. And this could be why you're just feeling a little bit flat, because maybe you've just been coasting by. You've kind of been growing, stuff is going well. People tell you all the time, oh, your stuff is really good. Oh, it's going really well. But there's part of you that knows that you are meant for more. This is incredible, okay? I want to say that the people I think that have access to this are the ones that go on to change lives, that come up with the most innovative shit, that really do incredible things, because they're not so set with how things are happening now. They know that there is just so much more that they can do. And I think because of that, they become so devoted to their vision and their business that they go out there and create that. So anything that we have in our life, if we've worked with someone or a course or an offering, even an iPhone, that has been created by someone that has a vision, that knows that, they just see so much beyond what is happening right now, even if other people don't see it, and even if it's filled with stuff that's currently working. Like there's that clip from Apple where people are talking about an iPhone and how, they're taking away the keypad. And I think it's BlackBerry at the time. And they were laughing, being like, why is that important? I can't see that going well. Yet you can think of the people that were working on this at Apple and how they just knew, and they had in their brain this idea that at the time people couldn't really make sense of, and now we can't imagine our life without it. So know that if you have this and you're feeling that, how incredible is it that, 5 years down the track, what is going to come from this if you act on it and you keep moving forward? So the first step of what we want to do is really identify how you're feeling and what's coming up, and if anything has kind of activated this for you or triggered this for you. So, this is something that I think that I'm kind of accustomed to feeling a bit. I'm someone that I love growth. Growth is one of my core values. And I even had this sense last month where, stuff is going well, people are paying me, I am effortlessly making the money that was my past self's goal. And again, huge achievement. Like, I don't even need to push to make that. But there's part of me that just was feeling like that, oh my gosh, I'm still playing small. I feel like that I'm accessing incredible clients, but I still know there's part of me that wants to work with this group of client, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And again, it is very hard when people tell you you are doing really well, which, we can acknowledge. But there was just this sense where I felt like that I was so good at what I was doing, but my stuff still wasn't getting out there and seen and having the impact that I wanted it to have. And, one of the commitments that I made is I'm like, okay, you need to be doing in-person stuff. If you want to have the impact, like everyone loves when they have you in person, what can you do in person? And I've committed to doing 3 events. So I've done my 2 events, and you know what's so funny is after them, I felt incredible. I felt like that I was just put on the path that I was meant to, and I was like, this is a really, really good move, okay? So how did I know that I should be doing events? And this leads me to point number 2, which is where we want to look for expanders. So this is not a Peter Serris term. This is something from Lacey Phillips from the Expander podcast. Her business is To Be Magnetic. And she talks about how expanders have something that we desire. And we can see this where, if you've ever seen a movie before and you look at a character and you just want to know all about them and you want their life and you want to go into this whole deep dive and then you want to start dressing like them and you love that they do this or you love that they act a certain way, that has highlighted something that your subconscious is like, hey, bitch, I think that you kind of want that. I remember seeing The Love Witch, which is my favorite film of all time, and seeing Elaine and how she just had this like bright makeup, and I loved the styling and I just loved everything about her. Maybe like not the murder, but I just loved the styling and I loved the film and I loved the music. And it was in that film that I discovered Ennio Morricone and how I was just obsessed. And then because of that, basically like what I listen to now, my life feels like that it's the soundtrack of that film. I can look back through parts of my life and how I've been introduced to someone and how that has highlighted something that I really wanted. I remember watching FTV when I was maybe 12, 13 and seeing Giselle on the television and then feeling like that I wanted to be a supermodel. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a model. And that was decided from something that I had seen. So I don't think that scrolling and consuming content in any way is bad, because I think a lot of the time it's what we do with it the next that really counts. So this is where you can look at people that potentially you feel activated by, or you're continually going back and looking at their stuff and asking like, what is it about them that I am just so attracted to? Now, where this is hard is sometimes we can feel really activated or jealous of someone when there is so much beneath that. There have been people in the industry that I've just been so jealous of. And when I really unpack why that is, it's because, they were just so unapologetic about the amount of money that they were charging. And there was part of me that wishes that I could do that. So this is where you can just get really curious to your positive and negative experiences and be like, from that, what do I wish that I could have access to? Okay. And take from that what you need. And then the third thing that you can do from here is I want you to identify what is more. If you know that you are meant for more than what you are experiencing right now, what is that? If you could just come up with some words or some sentences or a feeling, what is that? Now, what I don't want you to do here is be a logical bitch, because quite often what we do is we try to bring logic into our dreams. This is the worst thing that you can do. And I say this as someone that does strategy. You don't want to do that, because often you are using logic designed by what you've done in the past, which is why you have the life that you have now, because you are continually designing your future by looking backwards. So this is where, for the moment, we are going to fuck our past off and we are just going to imagine and dream big. So like, what is more? This could be like you being like, I want to be an F1 wag. Amazing. Cool. Let's just look at this without judgment for a second. You could be like, I want to be the next Gisele Bundchen. I want to make $2 million. I want to do this. What is that? Like, what is your more? I will say too that if you feel like that you are judging yourself here, this could be one of the reasons why you are feeling really blocked and like you're meant for more, but it's not happening. And it's because there's just so much self-judgment that's coming up. This could even be influenced by the people that are around you in your group that continually make little comments where you want to make $1 million in a business year, and you have people in your circle that rip off people that do that. So you're automatically being like, oh, I shouldn't want this because my friend's going to rip me off. Fuck your friends, get new friends. You don't need people like that. You want to be around people that boost you up and not cut you down. So I want you to think about over the next coming days, over the next week, if you know that you are meant for more, what the fuck is more? What is that? Remove logic, dream big, journal it out, do whatever you want, go on Pinterest, make a board. What is that? And you need to know what this is and where you're going. Otherwise, how are you going to know when you get there? You're not going to know. So I would write this down. And again, if this is something that you're like, this sounds amazing and I'm loving this, I'm really wanting to do this hot little offer. So if this is something that you are like, oh my gosh, Queen Peter, I need this. Come and tell me, babe. Come and tell me. You know, you are incredible. You know that you have an amazing gift. You want to get your business out there and that you are a gift to the fucking world. The world needs you. The best thing that you can do to be of service is to identify what does this look like and then put a plan into place to allow all of this to go into motion. All right. This is something I've done, I would say, my whole life. I very much, when I was young, was such a dreamer, and I would continually look at people and businesses and I would visualize and imagine myself doing that. I had a pretty, I don't want to use the word lonely, but I will just for the sake of this. I think in my late teens, early 20s, I was really lonely, and I was lonely because I was just so conscious that I was around a lot of people that weren't really supportive of where I wanted to go because this was just so new to them. You know, growing up in a small town, you know, a lot of people felt like that they had to live in a particular way based on how everyone else was living. And I'm like, I'm going to be Gisele fucking Bundchen. Like, I want a multi-million-dollar business. I want to be an icon. I want to be big and better than Tracy Anderson. People thought that I was insane. So this is why I purposely moved myself away from people. I spent more time by myself to cultivate this because this was so important to me. So this is where you get to make the choice of who the fuck you are going to be. And if you are meant for more, what is that? Stay in that vision this week. Craft something so fucking juicy that you want to beat off to it. So I love this. I love this so much. I love this. I love you. I love you more than the sexy robe that I bought this week. Oh my gosh. It's, how do you say it? Lacoste? It is like a rich 50-year-old daddy's robe where you would like shag him, you would walk into his walk-in robe, and there would be this robe with matching slippers that would be monogrammed, and it would smell like him, like a rich man. It's velour on the outside, terry toweling on the inside with a little gaiter on the pocket. I feel expensive, and I'm obsessed with that. I also love that it was on sale. It was $459 down to $137. Like, if you want to go shopping, babes, I'm the person to go shopping with because I can always snag a deal. So I love you more than that. I love you more than the Pilates class that we had today. It was hard. It was incredible. Also, speaking of exercise, I am on like an exercise journey at the moment. We're doing twice a day, which for some people may feel like a lot, but coming from someone that used to teach fitness for a living, it's so funny. I need to obviously work on this. My brain's like, yeah, twice a day is pretty good, but it's still not that much. But I'm doing the class. Like, it's literally called The Class. How bold, obsessed. And it was recommended by a psychologist. She's like, this is incredible. And it's exercise, but there's also like, you can like grunt and yell and kick and stomp. And it kind of reminds me of, if you've seen the movie The House Sitter. Is it House Sitter? House Sitter. It's got Goldie Hawn in it, and she does that dance class, and she's kind of like dancing and kicking and jumping around. It's that. It's like that meets aerobics, meets Nia dance, meets a boot camp, meets yoga, meets chanting, and I am obsessed. I do it like every day. I get home, I kick, I scream. I'm like humming and feeling my feelings. My neighbors are probably like, wow, this woman's insane. I've never felt fucking better. I feel so good. I'm also in the runway to ovulation this week. My period's finished. This is my favorite part of my cycle where I feel like a god, an icon, a goddess. Like just make a statue in my honor, put it out on the fucking strip on Turak because that's how I'm feeling at the moment. So hot stuff. Go forth, be awesome. What the fuck is your more? And let's actualize this together. I love you. Mwah.